Or are we slow crashing? Oh, we are here at 5. It's working, I think. Awesome. Hello, everyone. My bad. I've been trying to get this going for like the last 15 minutes, and it finally connected. Sweet. Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to the SBR GT3 Championships here at Blue Moon Infield A. I believe it's Infield A. So, yeah, sorry, I didn't actually think this was going to connect. I've been getting an error for 15 minutes, so I was a little bit surprised by that. But we are here at the next round here at Blue Moon Infield Speedway, as we see everyone starting to get ready for qualifying, which should be starting any second now. Yeah, so didn't get much time to really talk about the track. We'll talk about it some during the qualifying that we see going on, but it is a very quick track, you know, just over a minute per lap here. Minute 6, it looks like it's about the fastest lap we've seen, which sounds about right. And it's really just going to be about hanging on to people through the dirty air, getting through this track, because you're going to end up on this huge, you know, American NASCAR style little section where it's just going to be high banking and just draft everywhere. So it's going to be real interesting to see how people go. Turn 1 that we see Rossi coming up towards right now can be real difficult because it's real easy to get up the inside of people as you go into it. A lot of different angles people are going to be able to take, so that's going to be interesting and fun to watch. But yeah, we'll just kind of hang out and chill and wait for qualifying to get started, as this is going to be a real fun race. Every time I've ever driven at any of the Blue Moon layouts, even the hash brown, tends to always draw pretty tight racing. We know from last week that both race 1 and 2 are probably going to be heavily contested, so it's going to be exciting to see. And let's see Liam reset his car. The race is probably just getting ready to start then. Well, not the race, it's actually the qualifying, as they have, I believe it's 8 minutes to qualify. We'll find out for sure coming up. As we see Cripps Racing, who just yesterday was racing in the multi-class endurance race, had a fantastic outing there, getting himself a podium. And we've got, Rob and Rob. We've got the 2 Robs, Piper, Cripps, Ryle, I believe your name's actually Ryle as well, John, Green, Liam, Edwards. Ooh, I forgot to look up Rossi's real name. I apologize, Rossi. You're going to still be Rossi. We got Austin, and oh, that's a brand new name. That's not fair. McVeigh's McVeigh. Hopefully that's his real name. Milden. I forgot to look up Joker, man. I know this name too. I apologize, Joker. And Graham here tonight. So we've seen most everyone here racing, so knowing all these people are quite close usually, it's going to be an interesting race as we see them going out for qualifying. I would expect probably some people getting into groups for a little bit of drafting. The dirty air is a little bit problematic, but I mean, if you get slipped through that entire back section of the track, you're going to put down a pretty good time. There's a lot of room to slipstream up to that finish line, as we see Liam trying to get out as quick as he can in the BMW. Why is it on that? Uh-oh. And looks like Rob might be the first person out. Is Rob ahead of Rob? Nope, Rob's falling back some. So Rob Groot, as it looks like Rob's probably going to lead the pack. Maybe not exactly where it's going to be when you're in the probably fastest straight line car on the track right now. That GTR is going to be very quick. Although Edwards and the NSX, every time I've raced it, it is a deceptively quick car. If you can keep it together, very quick. It looks like Edwards already making a racing move on qualifying. And we've seen Green. Is that a Ferrari? No, it's the McLaren. That's right. Green is extremely rapid in this McLaren as well. So he looks like he doesn't want to get slowed down by anyone. He just came out in the back and he'll just put down his own lap. And it'll probably be quick enough to get him up towards the top without any slip or anything. As Rob looks like he is probably just inside the slip of Edwards to get a good start on lap 1. Cripps in the Lexus, who loved the Lexus, super strong on the second part of stints. Liam in his coveted BMW, just always in the BMW. He's sitting in you can see some of these people sitting right in those slips, as Rob is also right in the slip as well. Piper, maybe. It's a little tough right through here, as we see Graham right on the back of him in that Viper. The Viper's extremely quick too if you can keep it on the track. John looking like he's rocking, what is that, the Aston? Oh, I love a good Aston. That is a very rapid car as well. It's Austin, oh, going for my heart, driving the BMW as well. Big fan. Yeah. Ooh, who's in the 911? McVeigh and Rossi rocking the 911. That does not usually have the best top end, so it'll be real interesting to see how it does around here. It'll be very rapid through these sections. It should have a good launch on everyone, but what do you do when you hit that back section? You're just not going to be able to fight anymore when, like, you know, someone like Joker's right behind you sitting in a GTR. He's just going to eat you up. Aston's going to be solid here. A little bit on the fuel, so it'll be interesting. The Aston kind of likes to burn up its fuel. So we see them coming around the 207s. Those aren't going to be the best first laps. They're definitely want to hit 6s, as we see Graham jump into the 6s. John in the 9s, so that's not going to quite get it. He's going to need another lap for sure. McVeigh in the 8s. So only one person in the 6s so far. So it looks like we might have a lot of people. Oh, we got people qualifying on the hard. Should have been paying more attention to that. John, Milden. We got people who are going to use these hards right off the bat because they do have to run 25% of the race. Oh, that is unfortunate for both of, as we see both of the 911s go wide there. So it's really just going to come down here to see if anyone else can come in. As right now, Graham has the fastest lap over Green, as we saw Green dominate quite often here in the first race and really show how to get the McLaren around. He's already up at the top, but all over Graham's time. As Graham's going to come around and see if he can put down a better lap. He definitely doesn't have anyone to slip on, so it's going to just be up to how he did on this lap, keeping it very tight. Oh, he's coming into the pits, so doesn't even care about how quick he went there. Looks like we've got a few people coming in, a couple people staying out. Liam up into 4th, Green sitting in 3rd now as Edwards puts down the fastest lap of the race. Now is Green keeping this lap hot? He is. Looking like he's just out of Milden's slip, so it's not going to be probably... Oh, that's looking... Nope. Not going to improve there. And then this group, I'm going to assume they're going to come in here because they haven't pit yet. They just got their better lap times down in. As we see, like, Graham coming back out on some fresh tires. So this is going to be his out lap. Edwards will probably be on his in lap. Green on an in lap. In lap, in lap. Ooh, Austin will be on a flying lap coming up. In lap, in lap, in lap. And Jokerman's going to start his flying lap with what's probably not slip. Rossi's going to be on a flyer. And then I'm pretty sure everyone on the hards doesn't really care too much because you're just really battling your hard group right there. So who's our first person to stay out? Is it going to be Austin, it looks like, or is it Graham? So you can see here, it's going to be, this is just a huge trail break zone right here. This is tough, so this can make up a lot of time for you as you come into this first corner, just based on how much speed you can really keep up going through there. You see him dropping down right down to 90, but instantly back up over 100, so that's real quick through there. Green comes in for his in lap. We've got Liam. That wasn't Liam behind him. That must have been Piper. Not Piper. Wow. Austin. Sitting pretty close. He might be able to close up and get slip on that Viper. If he can close up and get slip on the Viper down the back straight, that would be extremely beneficial if he's on a good lap right now. Because that Viper is going to be very quick. As we see a lot of people trying to concede. Oh, I wonder if he had to change his lineup. It looked like they gave him enough room to go ahead and come into the apex, so I don't think it affected anything, as we saw everyone who wasn't on a lap just come to a dead stop there, which is going to actually probably help out, honestly. If they're on a real lap and they're sitting right in slip when Austin's coming around to put down a real lap, so he's not going to be able to, like, not give him slip. And improves. Ooh, just barely off of it. As we see him still holding right here, as it is a very tight 1, 2, 3, then a 10th down to 4th right here as Liam's on his start lap as well. As he has got, and we know that Callum Cripps is really racing too, so Liam's got a good person to pull him around right here. Now, what car is Cripps in? The Lexus will do just a fine job of pulling. I mean, it's not like he's behind a 911 or any of the cars that really, can struggle getting that top end. So he might end up getting pulled to an even better lap. If he can gain a 10th on his best lap, it'll put Green under pressure to find a better lap, who is currently on a lap to try to take pole. As we see Graham come around, I haven't seen his splits, so we don't quite know, but 55 seconds at the corner right here. Green's still looking purple. Graham wanting that slip. Doesn't improve his time. Liam getting close. Doesn't look like he's going to improve either. Austin, not quite. Joker's jumped up from 10th to 7th, so he's gotten a decent lap somewhere in there. Oh, McVeigh jumping up, getting a better lap in there as well as he comes through. It's kind of interesting. We got a whole split of the racing hard somewhere back here. 13th, 14th, and 15th are going to start. Everyone else starting on the softs, though, so going to be very... Oh, as we see Austin get it a little wide going through there, just using the wall to straighten out. As Liam's gotten past... So Callum either... Oh, he put down a real good lap and didn't want to give up any more slips, so he must have just backed out of that lap. Hey, fair play, that's smart. Oh, but Liam might make him pay for it. He's on a good lap right now coming around that. It's... Oh! That wall probably scrubbed it off, though. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky and the walls don't hurt as much, but usually they're going to drop you about 15 miles an hour just instantly, and that's going to probably crush that lap. We'll see. 4, 5, he needs to be hitting it like right there. Yep, look at that. That's rough. He was going to put a time down and actually probably make into the top 5. Well, into the top 3 probably for sure. They are so tight right there. All within .06? 0.065? I mean, that's tight. There's a little bit from 4th, but I mean, look, you got to go all the way down to the hard tires, basically, before you find someone who isn't within a second. As Rossi comes in, I thought he was going to be the last time to cross. We must be waiting for some of the people who pulled off into the pits to have their timers run out here in the next 8 seconds. But yeah, so we're going to have Edwards taking the pole by just barely over Graham in that Viper. Callum sneaking in to 3rd, Green in 4th, Liam in 5th. We'll get to Austin, Joker, and the rest of them here when they go back up. And then I say I'll look up Joker's name to make sure I have it, but I'll forget. So we're really just praying Liam remembers to message me, because that's the one I need to remember, and I apologize. So yeah, Austin in 6th, Joker in 7th, Robin 8th, Piper in 9th, McVeigh in 10th, Robin 11th, Rossi 12th, and then we got the hards of Ryle, Ben, and John rounding out the back of the field. As they are off, and I'm wondering, we see Liam not using any traction control and getting a little bit of wheel spin there, it looked like, as he goes defensive right off the back as everyone groups up on him. Is very patient to this first corner. They're going 3 wide, but they're not really. I mean, they're kind of saving some speed there. They could be probably going a little bit more aggressive, but kind of just trying to battle controllably through here, as we see Graham jumping up to the lead right off the bat. They're starting to become single file, as we see. Was that... Oh, McVeigh mixing up, trying to get too wide through there, as it may have actually cost him a little bit of position there, as it looks like John's getting the move back on him, as we see Rob and Rob all over each other. The Robs battling. John's trying to get opportunistic, and while they battle and get on the inside, as we see a lot of battling in the back. Is the front looking to line up? They're starting to line up. It just takes the back longer to line up for sure, but we're definitely going to see some huge moves if they're this close to each other going down this straight, as everyone finally gets lined up on this last corner, as even the back of the pack is basically in the slip right now. As Rob may be the first person to fall back, so that group is definitely going to need to pick up its pace and run its own thing to catch up for a second, but the rest of the group is all lined up as Graham is going insanely defensive into this. He does not want to give up the lead. He doesn't care how much people catch up as long as he just holds on for now. Oh, but Edwards just keeps it tight up the inside, and it is going to be tough. Is he going to get the run? It is. Oh, as Graham gets on the grass letting Edwards through. How much is Graham going to lose for that? Like, Oh, he technically used to defend everyone just because he was on the right side of the track, and that works out really well to hold him into second. Edwards is probably not going to be too upset about getting a second lead right there. If he can separate the slip right here, that would be a huge early advantage for him, as everybody else is just side by side, like fighting for 1st through 14th right now. You'll see them all start to try to line up here. There shouldn't be too much battling early here, as we do see Rob trying to make the move. That's probably smart from McVeigh to just filter in. He's going to need that GTR to pull him anyways. That'll be super helpful anyway. As yeah, it'll all be setting up into the slipstream down this back straight, because this is where we're going to see the moves as they go in, as we see them trying to set up for a 3-wide into turn 1. This is looking very nice. Graham's sitting real good. Liam able to hold into 4th, trying to put pressure and defend at the same time. That's just a tough spot to be in. And then, yeah, they filter right back into lines like they should. Very fair play. Looking good. Green has had a rough start, starting up towards the top, getting out qualified by 3 people, and then falling back into 6th. So maybe the McLaren getting slowed down through those straight areas, not really being able to exploit anything into these corners where everybody else is out turning them. Whoa! Looks like Austin just goes from 6th to 3rd to 4th. Back into 5th. Nope, trying to fight back into 3rd. Might end up back in 6th. Definitely in 4th, though. Ooh, light contact. Green. Gonna just, nope, decides better of it. Thought about sending it 3-wide into that, but someone was gonna end up dead if we did that, I'm pretty sure, as they are all still right on each other. Edwards and Graham getting enough separation that they're not pulling anybody anymore. Liam trying to get himself into that same position where he cannot be pulling anyone anymore. As we see Joker getting super insane. I love it going. Oh, as they all go side by side, hold the position. I love that pass. That is just what you have to do around this track. You got the extra power. You're in the GTR. It's going to pass everything in a straight line. Maybe not the McLaren. The McLaren's good too, but probably passes everything in a straight line. So you just got to put the balls out and go into the corner. Because if you get the win, everyone's going to have to filter in behind you, and you can just go on to the next people. As he moves all the way up into 5th with that move through there. We see Austin coming right back at him. The Beamer is going to have a lot more acceleration out of this corner, you would think, as he does start to pull away a little bit out of it. Can he lock it down? He can't shut the door, so that's going to be problematic. The GTR is the inside. I think he just... Oh, it's Cripson. Oh, a round catch. Pretty good catch there, but I am quite confident he's not going to be happy about that little contact. It looked like Cripps may have gotten something wrong, causing Joker to move in defensive, avoiding him, and it just kind of... Everyone got copped up there, and we saw, was it Austin? Yeah, and Austin goes around, but... He is back into this group. He'll have time, and if you work together with people over 38 laps, they've still got over 30 minutes to go in this race. So with this much time to go, you can either work with them if you think they have the pace to catch you up, or you can just try to get back through them. But they are messing around, and Ben, who is on those hards, is coming through and saying, I'm just going to take this position now. Technically, he's in a race with him because he does need to pass him at some point on different strategies. So if you can get by him on hards, everything you slow him down is good for him, and that's going to hurt a lot as we see, oh, major sideways from Piper. Ooh, didn't see if he got caught up with someone. He was in the group, so it may have been a case of just like getting battled a little too wide, and once you touch the dirt, especially if you're in like any of these fast corners, there's not much you can do. Is Cripps is on a best lap for himself, so it's not going to be probably... Ooh, gotta watch out for those walls. It wasn't a huge scrape, so he's not going to lose quite as much, but this has worked into exactly what we said. Liam kind of getting the spot. He's caught right up here on green, so that's good for him. Now the real question is he going to battle Green when he catches him up, or are they going to try to close up Graham first? Cripps also just, maybe outside the slip. It'll come down to how they go through the infield here on Rob, as Joker's also slipped back just a little bit now that we've had a couple mistakes from people and incidents of people having to avoid. Rob back here still in the slip, right outside of it, but he could close that back up. That Viper probably competitive with that GTR in a straight line, to be honest. And then you've got Austin and John battling right here, and that's a pretty good recovery so far from Austin. He caught his car quick on that spin. It sucks to have it one of the few early laps in a race, just because when you see that happen, everyone's still super grouped up, and you can lose positions and end up in battles that wouldn't have happened if you did it, 3-4 laps further. But we see Rossi trying to get racy on Milden. Milden shuts the door, says, nope, my position. And we should see everyone starting to line up as their battle down. As Austin's caught up here, this Viper will be a good tow. If you can get pulled around up to your top speed and then just make the move, very good situation, as he's trying to close down Jokerman already, who looks like he's actually losing to Rob, but that makes sense. Rob's in the slip of Crips in that Lexus, looking good. I like the Lexus. I'm a big fan. The car feels real good, and usually when the tires start getting here in that Lexus, that fuel comes down, your tires are starting to wear out, everyone else is like trying to keep their car together, and the Lexus will usually just be like kind of is right now, like starting to run its best laps. So it'll be interesting to see how that really works out, if it can, make up that 7-second gap over the next 30 laps or so. As Liam's sitting good, his tires looking well, half fuel so far. Has gotten a little bit of a gap back here to Green, as Green needs to start working on that gap to Graham. Graham's been driving just fantastic here, but I mean, Edwards, once he got that gap, he's just maintained it. So we can see here, Edwards has basically run the exact same lap every single lap. So like, it is a 107 that you need to be putting down on every lap if you want to keep up with the leaders right now, because they are throwing down mid to low 107s every lap, and that's impressive, as Green's sitting in that same thing, and that's why the gaps are staying just so similar, as this entire group, as we see Liam, the first one in this top group to really start throwing some 108s out there. But we did see him have to battle through quite a bit of people, so that is going to be one of those things, as we start to see all these other people have been having more battles that can get those 207s, but they have these 208s and 13s and stuff like that because of all the battling they've been going, as Joker is all over Austin right here. That BMW's big, though. They're both big cars. They are hard to get by each other. We see Rob probably using this as an advantage to kind of close up on them right here in that obviously custom decaled, I mean, just amazing livery on that one right there, straight out the shop. Oh, Ryle looking for a move on John, as we do see these hards all kind of stuck together right now, as McVeigh on the softs probably getting held up by most of them, but he's kind of, McVeigh and Rossi back here, same as Piper on the softs. That's just a tough place to be, as these hards have already kind of gotten by you, as they're just sticking together and not really worrying about racing too much at this point in time, as we do see some people getting grouped up. Rob looking to make a move up into the top 4. Get her done. That GTR, not much you can do in a straight line. It's with slip and its top speed, it's just going to go flying by people. And then you just have to make sure you don't let them back by before the next straight, because all you're going to do is pull them. They're not going to be able to remake the move on you most of the time. You're just going to have such an advantage in a straight line that you can go lightly defensive and make the corner impossible for most people, as he has now set his sights on Liam, whose lap times comparatively are a little bit worse, so he's definitely closing the gap on Liam, as Edwards has finally started to flirt with the 8s, and Graham also getting closer, but he's actually closed that gap up. He's going to have slip if he can keep it together right here through this corner, and that'll mean he can actually battle back for the lead here going through there, as he comes through, and we see Edwards maybe scrape the wall just a touch, and yeah, Graham is going to have a lot of opportunity to come down on this. As we see, it looks like everyone else for the most part lining up, not too much, as there might be a move in the hards, but they haven't made moves before, so I wouldn't imagine it to happen here. As, ooh, we see Graham, the first of the softs to come in, so he's not going to be making a move down the straight. Now, is this undercut going to work out and beneficial? It might end up putting them out into a battle, as, ooh, we start to see some other people coming in on the hards as well, so clearly 9 laps looks to be what you have to do on hards, as I couldn't imagine you would go 1 lap longer than you had to. This Piper putting down the fastest lap of the race. There you go. After that spin, he's really just kind of put the pedal down and started climbing back through. His Joker, man, still being super consistent right there with Graham, but Graham having just come out of the pits as well. The Joker come out of the pits but put no fuel in? That is interesting. Running a double soft stint basically on your fuel, and then, okay, I like it. That's a thought. That might work out towards the end. As we see, looks like Cripps did the same thing. A lot of people are doing this, getting their new tires but not putting in any fuel. So looks like everyone's on to something here. As we see Rob, who has not pit yet, as his wheels are not looking great. Those front lefts can't really grip anything anymore, but he's going to keep going. His times haven't fallen. Well, let's see what this one is. Did he just have a bad lap, or is he falling further and further? I mean, he's running the .7s now, so... But he has found his way up into second, as Liam currently leading the race with tires who are also begging for any forgiveness, mercy, anything right now. But his time's also in the mid-8, so not too shabby for him either with those tires. I would be absolutely impossible to stay on the track, as we see Rob defending against Green. Rob has these tires that are just not going to work out. Oh, keep it together, as Green is on the fresher tires. And yeah, this is one of those things about staying out. It's hard to defend on these bad tires, and this might actually cost you more time than having just come in already, because then you would have fresh tires as well. But we see Edwards, who was the race leader, is currently passed by Green. It looks like Edwards probably put a little bit of fuel in, also went onto the hard tires. So Edwards getting that stint out of the way now, where Green has remained on the soft tires. So they will come together again once Green finishes up his hard stint. Liam does not believe in pits. He's a BMW driver. We don't pit. We run out of fuel or we finish the race. So he is staying out for another one, but Rob has decided that he's going to go ahead and come in because his tires might explode if he stayed out another lap. And Austin is not messing around. He is on a tear. He's got low fuel, he's got fresh tires, and he wants to throw down some fast laps. So throwing out a 2:06.7, that is definitely going to put pressure. But the real question, Edwards knows that it doesn't really matter. He's on the hard tire. His goal isn't really to do anything other than slow down the pass of him. And he's probably even better right there with Cripps right, or it's not Cripps on him. Who's on him? Oh, it is him passing Edwards. I apologize. So Edwards just leaves it open, doesn't defend too much. He's on the hard tire. Might not really be worth the time lost to slow one car down. You're not just racing one person here, so he kind of lets him through, as we see Cripps on the softs is going to close that gap up, as well as Liam looking like he's leaning over towards the inside of the track. Is he thinking about the pit stall? Not even in the slightest. We don't pit. He still has pit on fuel, not on tires. I like the strategy, as Green's going to be closing that gap up. He's got nice tires, but fuel's roughly the same. He's got a little bit more fuel. He's coming to the pits, though, as it looks like Ben might be trying to do some sort of strategy that involves pitting less around here. Did I say Ben? I meant Liam. We weren't even looking at Ben. So I guess that means we should look at Ben, as he's leading a whole group all around the track trying to break slip. We'll go low, we'll go high. As McVeigh fall back, I mean, yeah, honestly, when you're in that 911, you've probably, if you are in slip range, you've got to dive everywhere with them, because they are, even moving around the track, their straight line speed's probably going to pull from you. So you want to try to hold on to it as much as you can, as we see John kind of got his own little track to himself right now, but he's got pressure behind him not too far back, and he's got people to catch up to not too far ahead. They are on the hard tires, so he should be closing the gap down on Rob. Riles switched over to those softs, so he doesn't have to worry about hards anymore. Piper on the softs, looking good. 25% as he's trying to close up on Joker, who has closed up on Graham. I just really like the way his car looks. That GTR has a nice livery on it, looking clean. And you know what? I actually raced it this weekend. I'm actually a new converted GTR fan. So it's nothing like a Beamer, but I am a GTR fan as well now, because that straight line speed is fun to fight with. As we see Edwards not able to keep Cripps back at all through there. Cripps just kind of got on the inside, stuck it down, and then, yeah, Edwards just going to use his slip for a little bit of fuel saving, save his tires a little bit, although they're hards. Don't really have to save them at all, but yeah, you can just use that slip to save a little bit of fuel, make up some time in the pits, as we see Joker all over Graham. Ryle trying to close it up as well back here on Piper. And we see Piper trying to close up the battle right here to Joker, as Joker is probably going to try to make a move, I'd say, on this upcoming straight. Neither one of them should be coming into the pits yet. As we see, Liam has gone ahead and let Green on by, but that probably doesn't really matter compared to the strategy. He'll make time up if he's actually on a strategy that just revolves in going 38 laps without ever pitting, because he does look like he's flirting with a pit stop, and he goes on in. All right, so 15 laps. Is he gonna go the whole way on hards? He might just be doing a one-stopper. That would be interesting to see where he ended up coming out, because that's over a third of the way through the race, almost halfway, and he did his softs the whole time. As Green's going to throw down a best lap if he can keep this one up. He has a decent gap, but the real question would be, to the person who is on hards, which currently is in... Did I miss? Edwards is in 4th. There he is. Edwards in 4th on the hards. With Graham and Joker closing it up, it's really this 8-second gap. How much time do you lose on hards over this stint compared to Green? Because Green's still on those softs. So we see Austin up into 2nd. That is a good little race from there because he had a little bit of issues at the beginning, but he's gotten it back together in that BMW. But he's low on fuel, so he's in a false 2nd. But as far as I'm concerned, he's in a BMW. It's an official 2nd right now. As we see Colin behind him in 3rd, and then Edwards with a whole train of people on the softer tire behind him trying to make a move as Graham. This should be easily done. The real question is, can Joker get through as well? He should have enough speed. Oh, he didn't quite. He couldn't get along the inside. He may have been timid about making it, or he just actually may not have had enough speed. Like I said, that NSX is deceptively fast. You just don't ever see people race it because most people can't keep it on the track. But we've seen Edwards just masterfully keeping it around the track and being aggressive with it. So, honestly, an impressive drive. The GTR is going to try to make a move, get on the inside. I think the softer tire later on the brakes, this should be an easy move for Joker, and he was able to keep up. Oh, he's a little contact on Graham, and no harm, no foul. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, he's gonna lose time, but good catch. That looked like you were headed into a wall there, as we don't seem to have much changes in the lead, as they're still waiting for all the stuff to pass out. As we see John all over Rob on those hards, John on the softs. We're going to be seeing some pits coming around. It looks like we do have, was that Austin going into the pits? Absolutely, nice. So Austin's got off his soft, so probably going to go on to the hard. I would think he's going to probably run his hards. And if you got to run 9 laps on him, maybe his Joker gets back past Edwards, but now he's actually lost some time to Graham. But he's not far out of the slip. That GTR's... It's a Viper, though, so it'll really just come down to which one of these oversteer crazy thing machines do through the infield better, because their straight line speeds are both really good. Let's see how those hard drivers are doing. So we've got McVeigh, who is currently on the hards. Rossi also on the hards. 22 seconds back, but, you know, Rex, everything here, there's plenty of chance for him to get back, as he has a awesome-looking livery. I don't think we've gotten to speak about that. That is fantastic. I am a big fan. And 84, if that's a birth year, I just became an even bigger fan. McVeigh trying to get racy on these hards. Is Piper on hards? Piper is on hards. Is Rob on hards? Rob is on hards. So McVeigh, Rob, and Piper are in a little battle and on the same strat right now. Is their fuel nowhere close to the same? Oh, they are all over the place on fuels here. They're not on the same strat. They just happen to be on the same tire right now, it looks like. As Rob's going to be coming in pretty soon. Piper can stay out for quite a while, and McVeigh is coming in now. Like that, I don't know if he can make another lap. And then you got Rossi in the Porsche with plenty of fuel, still good tires, so he's still got quite a bit of laps. So he's actually going to make up quite a bit of time on people that are coming in right now. He's still battling with them, nice. And then Piper, kind of lonely on the track here, but that's because he just came out of the pits and he is on his hard, so he is getting that stint over with. Liam, who was leading the race earlier on his hard stint, back in 10th, trying to close the gap on the hard racer of Rob, as we have a whole group of hards right there up until we get to John on the crying softs, but he'll be coming in because he's flashing red. Another soft here for Austin, as he's again having a great race up into 7th, and he's still got half a tank soft tire, so he's basically on the fresh. Oh, we just watched him go in, as we see Green coming in as well, so Austin on the lead lap, just finishing his pit, where he comes out in relation to Green, is a race for position. We see Ryle and everyone coming in. Edwards, who should be the current race leader on these hards, where as he gets by relatively clean, very clean, a very big gap to Green, actually. Fantastic. That gap is still growing. 5 seconds gap gained on hards. Green's still on the softs. Am I forgetting? He must be going for a... So he's going to try to get back past Edwards, go hards at the very end, unless I'm forgetting and he already ran hard somewhere, but I think he hasn't. So he is going to defend on hards versus Edwards on the softs. That's going to be interesting. And really, we have Austin in the battle at the exact same time. Like, he's only 2 seconds back with half the race still to go as they reach the halfway mark. So at the halfway mark, we've got Edwards currently leading the race, Green in second, Austin in third, Rob with a solid drive currently sitting in fourth, under pressure from Liam on a different strategy in fifth as they run the hards. Callum Cripps in sixth on the soft, so he's looking to get them taken care of as quick as possible. Ryle is currently sitting in seventh, Graham in eighth, but we know he's going to move up a little bit here because he's currently battling as everyone's just shuffling everywhere as these pit stops are coming in. Joker in ninth, potentially 10th is Piper, looking to make a move, and he does get it done. Ooh, but there is no way that Aston's going to win in a straight line, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Edwards, who finishes stint, going on to the softs, is going to end up coming out probably in the battle with Graham, who's technically in the battle for the lead, so the battle resumes with these two, as we see where I was at, and then that makes Joker in 10th as he got past. Milton rocking in 11th, but we know he's on a climb race. He started on the hards, so him and the people behind him are going to be constantly like trying to gain up through all of these positions. John in 12th. Adams in 13th. That's not Adams, that's 100% Rob in 13th. McVeigh in 14th, and Rossi bringing up the back in 15th. But as we can see now, the pits have kind of gone a little bit. He's back within 2 seconds, so definitely sitting there racy. Green on his fresh time. He's going to come around and see if he can get... Oh, that 106.0 is definitely an outlap. Okay. Going for another fast lap of 106.7. This will be Austin not far behind, a little bit off on time, so he's losing a little bit of that gap as Callum also quite a bit back. Liam all over the back of Callum, looking for some weaknesses. We see Ryle right in there as well, trying to get racy with them, so they are all battled up. And then we know Rotary and Edwards are all in the race right now as well, so it's all going to really come down to where these couple people up at the front, where their pit strategies land them, because they're on different strategies. So a lot of these people's strategies are landing them where they're going to kind of keep landing as they keep landing. That makes no sense, by the way. Ooh, is Edwards making a move as we have the bridge blocking all the moves through here? That is a horrible camera angle. Graham's able to keep it defended. I mean, it's the softs are soft, so as the only people left to really run hards, I think, other than Liam, who is currently running hards and slowing the world down, so that might be beneficial to Green, is the fact that he has a hard racer who's kind of competing up there, slowing down a lot of the other people behind him. So if we see Graham and Edwards catch up to Liam slowing them down will be advantageous to Green. I don't know how advantageous it is that he's slowing down Ryle, because Ryle, well, actually he's on the similar strat, so Ryle, yeah, needed to get that job done. He's still trying to climb up there. Let's go, fellow North American. Podium's right in front of you. We got this. All right, and then Cripps sitting there looking behind him, probably going, oh, it was a lot better when it was getting slowed down. Why is the gap starting to move the other way? Austin's gap still growing. Green's fast, though. It's tough to keep up, so you just kind of got to hit your own laps and just, you know, worry about mistakes ahead. As we see them starting to lap Rossi. Also, a little bit always hoping the person obeys the blue flags. I would assume it's just like any blue flag rule. You just move over to the side and let them by. You're not racing them at all anymore, so you got to just let them through. You don't have to like come to a dead stop or anything, but you should be aware that you're getting flagged to get out of the way. You don't want to break up the race for first. So he should be mostly nothing more than a slipstream, leaving plenty of space when people go for moves. So it shouldn't slow anything down, but just because it shouldn't doesn't mean it won't. As we see Ryle already closing that gap up to 8/10 over here. What a run. 6.8, almost got himself the fastest lap of the race. Someone's hunting. As we see Graham still battling back here with Edwards. Edwards all over, and Liam taking it, it's not too wide. I thought he was going to hit a wall. Liam on those hards probably not too upset that he can literally still see them right in front of him, though. So, I mean, if they make any mistakes and he can even get any slip, like right here, yeah, like he's sneaking slip right here off Edwards. All of this is helping him out. As Ben up into 8th. Jokerman in 9th. He's on the hard, so he's going to have to battle at the end of the race, but I love it. That's how I've tried so many times doing what Green's doing right here. It looks like Green's doing the I'll just defend on hards at the end strategy, and every time I try to defend on the worst tire, I end the race wishing that Blue flag, we'll get to. I in the race wishing that I was on the softer tire. Blue flag is a flag for someone who is getting lapped. So if you're no longer on the main lap, so like Rossi right now is getting passed by first place and second place, which is going to put him a lap down. Typical blue flag rules are simply that you cannot be on the racing line while they're on the racing line. Like, they have the right to the racing line over you, basically, is the best way to think of it. So if we were racing each other and we're side by side, I can stay there. But if I have a blue flag, there's not much I can do. I'm not racing you. I have to give up the racing line constantly. I'm required to not slow you down. Anything I do to slow you down will be considered a penalty to me. So that's the basics of blue flag rules. They're basically just get the F out of the way because you're not racing anymore on the lead lap. And yeah, the only people who are going to see blue flag rules are people who are getting lapped. And that usually just comes from having a rough race. And trust me, I've been there trying to dodge people because I've spun out plenty of times. So that is probably only going to affect a few people throughout the entire race. But the longer the race goes, the more accidents going to happen, the more time it gains. And on a minute lap, yeah, some people are going to get lapped for sure because little mistakes add up a lot. Yeah, no worries. Absolutely. And blue flags are weird anyways, and everyone kind of handles them differently, so I can't even guarantee that's the blue flag rule. But if they run just standard rules, you just got to get out of the way. Realistically, in racing, it's easy to do. You just move off the racing line and they go by you. It doesn't even slow anybody down. The only thing it's there for is if an accident happens, it's automatic penalty to the person who had a blue flag. You see Ryle working his way all the way into second. Low on fuel, though, so Cripps, who's also got a little bit more, but not great on fuel, sitting in there, so that's pretty racy right there. As, believe it or not, Graham and Edwards, who I think have literally just signed an agreement that they will hold hands this entire race until the end, are literally within tenths of each other. I mean, the whole race. I'm pretty sure there may be some sort of wedding or something that we need to go to because they are hand and foot the whole race, just working with each other. So if they are on pace, which as we see, their paces aren't bad, they'll end up, their paces are pretty much the same as Green, still on those softs, so they're going to end up merging where they're on the soft tire, Green's on the hard tire, and Green's going to have to be defending for his life because the gap's only 13 seconds. They have to run 9 laps on the hard. You're losing at least a second a lap on a hard, so it's going to be close. They probably want to close that gap up a little more, but they're in the range to be able to hunt him down by the end if they don't get slowed down by traffic too much. The real question is where some of these other people in here, like Cripps, is on the same strat as Ryle. Where are they going to fall in relation to this? Because Green's got to go hards. Everyone else has used up their hards who isn't currently on a hard tire. As we will have, I think, yeah, we've got Austin on a hard tire. And Jokerman, oh, bad timing for me looking at hard timing. Says he got it wrong or got spun and ended up taking damage there. So, light damage race, that'll repair over time. But that is going to cost quite a bit of time as he has fallen back in the pack. And on a hard stint, you just don't want that. So that's rough. We'll have to see him be in a recovery race for the rest of it as Ryle comes in. That'll move Graham and them up one more position now, most likely. Oh, is Edwards looking to make a move? Maybe just feinting it, just making sure he knows, hey, I'm still here. I'm not just following you. I will race you if I need to. But honestly, it's probably working out. I haven't looked at Graham's fuel yet, but I almost guarantee you when we check Graham's fuel, it is going to be vastly lower than Edwards, as Edwards has just been sitting here following. Nope, not even close. He must have fueled up massively more, because if I was fuel saving behind the whole time, be saving a ton of fuel right here, which might be what's happening. Edwards might be extending the stint a lot right now, just by the fact that he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 laps in, 7 laps in. And his tire's still looking basically the exact same as Graham's, who's in the same boat. They're both probably actually in the same spot right here. I would imagine Edwards would have more fuel than that. Interesting, he may have underfueled. As they have actually closed that gap all the way up to Callum. Callum leading in that Lexus. Lexus about to come into the pits anyway, so that's dangerous. You don't want the group that's like behind you that's going to pass you when you pit anyway to be that close, but I mean, that's the spot he finds himself in, so he's got a few laps maybe. I bet he But he comes in next lap. Those tires are pretty bad. Is Edwards sitting in the same spot? He's running these real long. Now, the real question is going to be how Liam's doing, I'm wondering, because he's on this weird strat. Oh, no, he isn't. He didn't run the hards there. I have no clue what Liam's strat is, actually, because he ran 18 laps on the soft tire. And then if he ran 18 laps again on a soft tire, he would be... Or, I mean, 19, but regardless, like, he basically made the whole thing, but he has to run hards for 9 laps at some point, right? I don't really know what Liam's strat is. He has to get on the hards here, like, this lap, I think. So, I can't quite figure that one out. I don't know if it's going to work out for him, because I don't know if he wants to be an 11th on hards, but we'll see. He was up in the lead there for a little bit, so he might know something I don't there. As we see Milden battling up. He's getting lower on fuel, though, so he's going to have to come in for another stop again. As the next stop should be their last stop. Every time you see someone come in like Edwards and John, they shouldn't have to stop again. Edwards is making his final stop. Green should be coming in on his final stop soon. Graham getting... I think, you know what, that might have been a smart from Edwards to go ahead and go in, because he's not going to have to worry about this battle. This battle's going to slow him down a little bit. And Callum wasn't giving it up completely. It looks like he thought that's why you fake moves. Callum kind of faked the move. He left it open, and if Callum had the better tires, he probably could have dove in there and taken it back, but they're both coming... I mean, I'm pretty sure Cripps is coming in right here, so I don't think he really cared too much to battle there. As Ryle, on those softs, quarter tank of fuel, 9 laps to go. Green is in the pit, so this will be his last stop, and he should be going on to these hard tires, so everybody else is going to be going on to soft tires, and he's going to be going on to hard, as Riles shouldn't be coming in here. He's going to be going for position right here, as Green's out on the hards. Riles not coming in. Can Ryle make it the rest? I think Ryle might be able to go the rest of the way. Everyone else is filling up to half fuel. I don't know. He might have to do a splash and dash. It's Austin on the hards. Looks like he's going to do a splash and tire maybe here at the end. Edwards is fueled up, soft tires, attack mode engaged, and Graham comes out in the same... Whoa, Graham really didn't want to run out of fuel. Also had to run the hards. Thought he'd already run those, so he's now in defense mode. Cripps also on the hards in attack mode. Liam, who I don't understand his strategy yet, is somehow in this battle now. Maybe I missed something with Liam, and he can make fun of me about how I don't pay attention to what he's doing or something like that, but he's in this battle, and he has the softer tire. So, he has enough fuel to go the rest of the race, so I'm really confused what's going on there with him. Ben, not too far back, 8 seconds, but he isn't going to have to pit again. Rob isn't going to have to pit again. John, no more. Piper's good to go. We got Rob good to go. We've got McVeigh good to go. We've got Jokerman good to go. And Rossi will also be good to go right here as well. So everyone is good to go to the end. It's all about the difference in tires. Ryle's not good to go. I forgot about you, buddy. I mean, unless he's got his thing in fuel save 6, I don't think... What is that? Like 20% fuel? I don't think that's going to quite make it. So he's going to have to come in again and come back out. So that's going to give the position to Austin, who is also going to have to come back in. So Edwards is the first person to not have to come in. I'm still confused. Liam's making the move on the outside into the inside. It becomes the inside eventually. Don't touch that grass. Yep, there you go. That grass will end you, but you got to push it. Goes defensive. Look at Graham back there just waiting to see what happens here. Who do I follow? Who do I follow? Ooh. Cripps shuts the door on Graham so he can't sneak through. Gives the position up to Liam. On the harder tires, Liam should be gone now without any mistakes. He should just be pulling them with him. And, yeah, I mean, unless they get a real good exit here, which it doesn't look like they did, I think Liam's just going to pull them and then take off from them coming through that last corner. Or the first corner, as we see Austin's caught all the way up to Edwards here, but, again, doesn't have enough fuel to go to the end, so he's going to fall back a little bit. Edwards, 10 seconds. He's going to close down 10 seconds over this stint. That might be too much. I don't know. And he's got Ryle in between him. In a perfect world, and he's got Rossi in between him as well. I forgot. So Rossi may end up slowing him down a little bit too, as he has to get by him. Green, who's already gone by Rossi. Yeah. won't be slowed down by him any further, as Ryle's also by him as well. But Ryle's flashing, so he's coming in the next few laps, if not this lap, and that'll push him back a little bit further, which will move Edwards up. Austin also coming in, which will move Liam up. Don't know his strat, so he may have to pit again. He may have used hards, and I'm just forgetting completely about it. If he's used hards, he's sitting in a pretty position right here, because there's really no one to catch him. Everyone else behind him has hards. The first softs is Ben, and Ben just happens to be... well, he's pretty close. Ben could catch him, but that's the first person you really have to worry about. The hards should have no chance. The hards are gone. Like, you got by them, you don't have to worry about them anymore. Down to 9 seconds, so he brought it down a second, but the problem is you've only got 6 more laps, and you need to bring it down more than a second a lap. You need Green to start looking to make some mistakes, and we've seen Green drive. He doesn't make a bunch of them. You know, you need to start hoping that he finds a way to put that thing on the grass. He misses a brake spot, forgets what tires he's on for a second, which we've all been there. We've been in the zone where you just forget you're on hards, you've been on soft so long, and you miss a brake spot by 50 meters or something like that. But it's just probably not going to happen. So it's really going to come down to Edwards really finding those top laps, as the 6s were good, but now they're slipping into the 7s. Really got to find a way to get everything out of that NSX if he wants to try to catch up Green. Ryle probably coming in here. So he's going to fall back a little bit. He'll fall back into the group of probably Liam, Cripps, and Nelm, depending on how much it feels. He might actually fall back to Ben and Nelm or further, as the group is really not that far back from him. Everyone is still really tight. They've got these real close gaps here as Milden's closing up Graham. That doesn't feel good. You're on the hard tire. This is what I talk about. I hate being on the hard tire when everyone else is on the soft. I feel so defenseless out there, but we're going to see if Graham can do anything. He's going to have to defend for 4 straight laps on one of the largest slipstream zones in the world, as Ben is a betrayer. I don't know how I just noticed he's in the Lexus and not the BMW, but I forgot that Ben has betrayed the BMW brand and moved on. Callum's looking racy in the hards, though. He's getting some decent times. Those 8s aren't bad, but it's just going to be tough when Ben's running 6s, right? It's like gaining almost 2 seconds, as we do see Ryle come out in 3rd. Solid. Get on the podium in North America. I'm a huge fan of this. So Ryle on the softs, Liam on the dead softs. That is problematic for Liam. Like, that wouldn't be a great, like, he is on a fresh set of tires, the same fuel as you. Like, that is not going to be caught. So Liam's found himself in a spot where it is going to take a lot of help for him to need to close that gap down, as his strategy is not as strong as Ryle's, as Ryle's sitting in a perfect position right now. Now, Edwards is still going to need some help. He's gotten it down to 6, just under 7. Oop, that's not going to be helpful. But yeah, it's just under 7, but that is not enough laps. That is needing Green to make spins, and as we can see, Green doesn't seem to do that. He had a rough little start to the race. Everything wasn't quite going his way. Kind of fell back, started 4th, fell back to 6th or 7th, if I recall correctly, and then really just stuck. It's why it's a great idea. Stick to your strategy. You know what you need to do, and 1 lap isn't the end of any race if you can just keep it together. As we see Milden making the move. Milden's going to try to put some pressure here on Liam. Ben past Callum there, no problem. Those hards had no chance. The real question is Graham going to be able to close up here on Cripps at all either as well? They're on the same tire, so the potential's there. He's got more fuel, so we can really rev it out. But at the same time, he's got Austin trying to close the gap down behind him. They got, what, 3 laps when they hit the finish line. And that is a soft tire within 0.8 of a second on you, while you're within 0.8 of a second. Who's within 0.8 of a second? And then you got Liam trying to get closed down to by Ben, as Ben has been on a hunt. 6s and 7s galore in there, huh? As Ben's already closed it down to 0.8. I mean, Liam is just going to be praying that Ben makes a mistake, because if he keeps this pace up, there is nothing Liam's going to do. Ben's just going to go flying past him, no problem. Edwards still over 6 seconds. That is probably not going to be enough to close it up. He is going to really need to get some help. Ryle at 5 is also in a comfortable podium position right now. Just needs to keep everything together. Is that traffic I saw in front of him? What was that? Oh, he's catching back up on Rossi, so we'll see Rossi probably let him by, as Milden is now all over Liam. It's okay. McEwen's pretty good in these positions. We've seen him be defensive. That BMW is a very big car. It can be tough to get by, but these corners are tough to defend in. As we did see Rossi moving down to the bottom of the track, so clearly he was getting out of the way of that battle. And now he looks in his rearview mirror and sees the entire 4th to 9th coming down the straight together right now. What a battle right now. 4th through 9 in the heat. 1st through 3rd, you got to give your hats out to them. They ran amazing races, kept it clean, didn't have any of those big loss in times, and that's why they have this gap they do. Everybody else who's been battling are now stuck in a tense battle. As we see no one quite in range to make any moves through here, and you don't have to, but it's about to get divey. This is the penultimate lap. You're coming up on the penultimate last corner here, and it's all about getting that. Ooh, is Austin gonna have to fuel save it all, or can he really run it? Does he have it planned perfect? As we see everyone starting to flash, Austin's trying to get the move on Liam. Oh, and he gets it done quickly and cleanly. BMW passes right there. That is a tough corner to make passes in, but he gets it done. Liam's tires just not there anymore. They are begging. The hards are catching up on him at this point. They're so hurt. As Liam's having to go defensive on the hard drivers. As we see, wait, is that Rob? Rob's back in the battle. Rob's sending it out. They're going 3 wide, trying to attack him from everywhere. Liam's blocking middle. Liam's blocking left. Liam is blocking everything. Cripps is blocking everything. Rob's just looking for any gap here. As it definitely just let Austin get away, as Ben also is now getting absolutely under pressure by Austin. He's trying to look back at him right here, but the battle behind him, 4th is looking safe as we see Green still comfortably in the lead. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are sitting pretty comfortable as Rossi's one of those cars on the mini-map in there. Looks like Ben's probably going to be able to clutch it down as, oh, up the inside. Liam getting, as Rob's trying to find a spot by, Cripps trying to find a spot by, Graham's back there trying to find anywhere by, Liam just sitting it down on the apex. Got to defend for 1 corner and 1 straight as Green comes across the line in first. Sorry, we're not checking the top 3 right now. This battle is what we're going to watch. Edwards getting a 2nd. Congratulations to Green, Edwards, and then Ryle for his podium as we see Cripps trying to get the move on Liam. As we see the GTR, is the GTR going to have enough straight line speed? It's 3 to the finish line. Oh, and he ends up going all the way from 8th to 6th. What a move by Rob. That GTR, that straight line speed just got him 3 positions. As we see Liam on the final corner go from 6th to 8th, and Cripps ends up just in the same position he always was in to begin with, as he made 1 pass, but got passed by the slingshot. And then we've got Graham, who was right there as well, in 9th, John in 10th, Piper, who had that insane spin battling all the way to 11th. What a recovery there. Jokerman, who also had a huge damage battling back into 12th. Rob in 13th. McVeigh in 14th, maybe? I can't see it anymore, as you guys can tell, so I didn't quite see where 14th, 15th, and where 14th to 15th were. Oh, I do. It was McVeigh, and then we had Rossi in 15th. So what a finish. My goodness. That was something to watch right there. Ooh, and now we get to do a reverse grid. So Rossi's going to end up on pole. Rossi's going to be followed by McVeigh. And I could barely remember it forward. I don't know how I'd be able to remember it backwards. But we will have Rossi on pole for the reverse sprint race. There it is, 14 laps, so just right at 15-minute race here. Reverse grid, this is going to be absolute insanity. The fact that they couldn't get away from each other when they were in qualifying position just means that in reverse grid order, it's just going to, they're just going to all be stuck up. The real question is going to be watching these 911s, because I was wondering how the Porsche was going to do on this just absolute straight line top end speed place, and it didn't do great. So it'll be very interesting to see what'll happen here when the Porsches are going to be able to potentially start at the front and maybe defend quite a while, get other people caught up in some sort of battles and stuff like that, and then maybe be able to get separated, because that's usually what you need at the front of a race. It doesn't really matter what car you're in. If you can just get 2nd through 14th fighting, you can usually pull away in just about any car. So it's going to be interesting to see if they really go defensive to try to hold people back and try to get everyone else to fight so that they can get some free space, or if we see, like, sometimes when people start at the front, they just move out of the way and they let the faster drivers by, and, you know, they miss a brake spot or something early. And so it'll be interesting to see if they really dive it in there and really, you know, make them earn their passes, or if they just kind of let them by here when they start on the front rows. So, you know, we haven't gotten to see a whole bunch of Rossi and McVeigh, so we'll definitely get to see them right here at the start and see what they can do, you know, trying to keep back what'll start as, you know, just the people who they were racing most of the race. But, you know, when you start on a rolling start, that first corner, a couple dives go in, all of a sudden you're going to be getting pressured from Edwards, pressure from Green. And I don't know about you, but if I'm looking at my rearview mirror and I see Green's closing the gap on me, I'm just going to be shaking, because he just does not seem to make a whole bunch of mistakes out there. But yeah, so we'll just be waiting for them to go ahead and get this started as everyone is entering into the race. I'm not entered, am I? I am not, so that's good. And then we will get going, and I have no idea who's going to win the reverse grid 15-minute sprint. I'm obviously rooting for Ryle. Anyone, original John. John's also always got my vote. Like, we know I'm a little North American biased on who I want to win. But outside of that, Jokerman showed some insane pace in that race. You know, if he didn't catch that insane incident where he ended up taking that damage, and the other one where he ended up getting kind of pushed off a little bit, who knows where he would have ended up in that race. So, you know, I think he has a very good position to battle through here. We've seen Rob making some great moves in that GTR as well. So, super interesting. And then we know, you know, Liam, 15-minute sprint, he's got a good chance in there. Ben's got a good chance in there. Ryle, I think, has a great shot. Starting pretty far back, but definitely follow people through there. Austin, absolutely. Piper, we just saw Piper get a win yesterday, so I'm pretty sure anyone in here can take this win right here in the reverse grid, especially. Ooh, someone sign up for the Arabian Drift lobbies. Oh, maybe he actually does know how to do the Arabian Drift lobbies. Whoa, that was pretty good. I couldn't do any of that. I'd have hit a wall. But yep, I think we're just waiting for a few drivers to enter into the race, and then we will be good to go. You know, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how everything works out. I love the reverse grid. Reverse grid is just such a fun concept. These libraries look really good. I wonder why I can't see what those messages are. I have it pulled up. Oh. Honda. I gotta figure out how to put those things on, like on the bottom of the wing, like that SBR sim racing spot. I haven't figured it out yet. See, like Jokerman, if you put some, like his real name somewhere right there, I could just remember it, and I wouldn't have to just constantly call you Joker. Cold pizza with crispy chicken on it. Ooh. The Viper, looking good. I really like this Porsche livery. This looks real good. Very clean GTR piece. I mean, BMWs just look amazing, so nothing wrong with that. Maybe the best livery we have here. I like the Aston. It looks clean as well. Lexuses are a lot of fun to drive. And Piper's Aston looks clean as well. Oh. And he's back. Money's on Adam Piper, huh? Wouldn't surprise me. He's been very racy. Oops, I don't know how to do it. My money's on they start the race without resetting it properly. I wonder if it remembers that Green was in the last race since he left. It probably won't, so it'll put him on pole. And he'll be starting the start of this race on pole. Oh, 14 entered. We should be good to go any minute now. Oh, it says the original John's not entered. He's not. Yeah, he is. That's weird. Oh, 15. We were looking for 15, not 14. That's correct. So we should be starting any second now. And I have nothing else to add in the current moment while we wait for it to start, because I've made my predictions. I predicted everybody, in case anyone missed. So I'm pretty sure I'll be right. We've seen some people think Adam Piper's got it. But it is going to be interesting. Once they hit that start race button, we will be underway. That is the worst corner. Like, it just bounces you up in the air, and there's a wall right there. It's pretty fun, though. Two minutes till we start. Ryle getting himself into the podium of the primary race. That's not what it's called. The feature race. So really good race. Menards. That's too funny. Sponsored by Menards, if only. Castrol for Milnen, looking good. It's a very nice looking livery, actually. Wreck. Aw. Looked like we were gonna get to see a little wreck. It is on light damage, right? This damage is gonna go away. Oh, that's probably why he keeps getting more. Ryle showing off for the fans. Look at all that thing. They can have fans moving in the background and all that stuff. But I can't get decent tire degradation. I got you. I understand, Polyphony. Got fans moving over there, but they're social distancing over in that fans. Like, what, you guys only sell tickets for the one seat? Like, if we put everybody in one section, it'll look like we're sold out if we only use the camera angle that shows that section. Like, it's so many people. And then no one. Menards. I love Menards. Oh, wrong button. And we should be starting, so... Like, you got a moving plane, but I can't get a good damage model. Oh, and we are getting started. All right, time to sit up. So everyone is re-entered. Everyone is back in. It's a reverse grid. Hopefully they remembered, because I know sometimes it'll accidentally put people who join in at the very top as if they didn't participate in the last race, so... Nope, we are all good. Look at that clean. Those Porsche liveries, you know what? Those look very good. I like them. Pink's one of my favorite colors, so literally Rossi's one of my favorites now. Everyone else needs to run pink liveries. Liveries, liveries, whatever. As we will see Rossi, the rolling formation is actually going to help him out quite a bit here. You know, not getting anyone to get just a huge launch right off the bat. So any of those cars with just good starts from a dead stop, not the GTR, that's for sure. So it's going to help out these Porsches who don't get good starts. It's going to help out this GTR, also doesn't get a good start. Aston gets a pretty good start, so he would like to be a dead stop. But we don't have any Citroens or any of those fun futuristic cars that get insane starts. But as we see everyone just already in a line, it's kind of, you know, love or hate the formation lap. As we see McVeigh getting real racy. He wants to lead, and he does. He says, no, we're not sitting back any longer. I'm out. Jerry's been talking trash on this Porsche. Let me show you how to run it. Into the grass. As we see, oh, Rossi defended it back. It looked like Rob wanted to get racy on the outside, and then Joker ended up taking advantage of it, and he is through. And oh, was it a cutback? I love it, Rossi. Get it. Oh, little contact. GTRs do not like contact. They get sideways super quick as 4 people just clamped down there. It looked like Piper got the worst of it because he kind of got closed in from the left and the right. He had gang members from the east side, gang members from the west side, and he's in the central. Oh, look at Liam. He's trying to get all of them done right here. He's trying to do what happened to him back in the last race to everyone else, as Rossi's getting racy on the outside. John up into 5th. Liam's going to retake it from him up the inside, it looks like. Oh, as we see Rob getting racy up at the front, up into 2nd. Piper back into 3rd. McVeigh is checking out. We'll see you. You guys keep racing. I'm gone. As we see a huge battle back there. Rob and Joker still side by side. Joker slips in. Liam into 5th as we see a line of cars coming through behind there. Graham, Cripps, we've got John, Rob, Milton, Ryle, Edwards, Rossi, and Green, all just like, I mean, yeah, oh, as we see Rossi falling back behind Green. He must have had a little bit of contact to fall back that fast. Probably pushed off the line. And I don't think we're going to see too much single file formation. They'll use it, maybe this corner is about it so that they can start getting runs on each other. But then once they come through, it is everybody's race to the next corner. As we see Liam looking up the inside, but it looks like Rob's getting slipped. So it's actually pulling everybody by him right now, as he is just the duck without any slipstream. As Rob moves over to give him a little bit of love, but it's too late. They go diving down. Oh, and Liam ends up using all that to go through everybody. Piper up into a comfortable 2nd, being hunted down by the entire field behind him. But he does see it behind him as Liam is separated from him. Anyone looking to get racy into this corner? A little bit, but it looks like for the most part, they all start going side by side. Oh, Edwards getting all up on the inside of Ryle, looked like, or maybe vice versa. I think they both have yellow liveries. Look at Rob chilling in that Viper, just going to pull in behind. As we see John sitting in a solid, comfortable 6th, only getting pressured by everyone. Green moved his way up into 13th already, so he's trying to find positions as he can. Milton making the move on Joker. Is Joker going to be able to come back in that GTR? No, he slips in. Ryle and that Aston's also going to have a lot of speed. Edwards went way low. I wonder if he got something wrong there or what that was about. As we see Milton kind of going defensive. Everyone's starting to look defensive. The leader's kind of lining up. Joker looking on the outside. He's going for a little bit of a cutback, but not quite going to get it. Looks like Ryle might get the move, actually. Oh, nope. Yeah, Jarrell's filters right back in. Is he going to try it on the inside there? No, it looked like he wanted to look at it as we see John getting it way wrong, going way outside. He is... Did he just go all the way across the track? I am so confused what I saw there. That may have been a little bit of lag. As they are all still just right here as Green's worked his way up into 11th. Graham right back behind him. Joker right back here in 13th with him. Looks like Joker and John probably were both part of that going off, or maybe Joker conceded. We didn't quite catch it. As Green is all over Rob right here. Where's that prediction for Adam Piper? He's sitting in second, trying to close that gap down to McVeigh. McVeigh was really probably hoping that they would keep battling longer, as he can definitely look back and see that field behind him. That'll show up in the rearview mirror. Piper can see it as well. Liam trying to close it down. He already has about 2.5 tenths or so about that, as we see Austin just pushing his way through. BMW passes are the best. Just, I'm coming in. My car's bigger. It's going to fit. I promise. We see Cripps trying to get a little defensive, but he's just in the fast line there. Riles moved his way all the way into 7th already, so he's also been moving through. He's moving through faster than Green is. Rob sitting there as it looks like Milton might want his position back. Oh, Milton does want his position back. He'll put 2 tires off if he has to, and he does. Does he get it done before the next one? Nope, looks like Riles still got the inside. Oh, Milton's probably going to end up losing out on the final corner and having to filter in before Green. Oh no, he's going to keep it going. As Groot and Graham get into each other as Groot goes crazy around there. Anyone else get caught up in that? Oh, as Groot's having trouble getting it back on the track. That is a rough time. Rough Rob. Piper's bringing it into the pits. You don't usually see too many pits on these short races, so that's interesting. Wonder why he came in, as his tires were just dead. Interesting. McVeigh probably doesn't hate that, seeing that gap jump up, as Austin's now up into 2nd with Liam all over the back of him right here. The BMWs all over each other. Then we got Callum a little further back with Ryle and Green all over each other right here, as Green, who's been consistently winning these things, but Ryle, ever since we've been watching him race, he has been extremely competitive, so they are all over each other. Ryle went a little defensive before we couldn't see him anymore because bridges. Oh, Rob was getting that a little bit squirrely, but it looks like he's got it together. Piper all over the back of him right now on those fresh tires. That is going to be tough. Piper clearly wanting to get some fresh tires on, maybe thinking that that'll help out in the long run, or maybe everyone's going to have to come in at some point, so he's going for an undercut, as we do see Liam jumping in as well. We see people thinking about pitting. Now, I know personally the Porsche usually goes much longer than everybody else goes, so I wonder if the Porsche can no-stop this, or if he's even allowed to, but his gap isn't probably what he wants it to be back there to Austin. But it's also not bad. McVeigh is looking very racy right now, leading the track. Ryle trying to close the gap up a little bit. As we've seen people go in the pits, it's kind of created these little false gaps that we see where, you know, people would usually be. Is Rob keeping it clean here? And then Liam in that first little, I guess Piper's actually the first group of pits, and he's all the way up into 4th. Liam in 6th, all over Rob on the worst tires. Edwards has not pit. He's still back, so it's going to be interesting to see how these no pit strategies work, maybe. Liam going to be able to find, it's just so tough. If you can't get the turn done there, then you're like side by side through maybe one of the worst corners to be slow through ever, but I'm sure he's probably fine. If Rob can get a good exit here, he's going to get pulled by a very fast car, so use that, get by him in turn 1. Probably what Liam's plan is here, as we see Green all over the back of Rossi. Green, who has come in and got new pits. Rossi dropping down to grab his new tires. As Green's making the move on Cripps. Liam made the move on Edwards. Wait, Liam wasn't racing Edwards. Liam was racing someone who must have gone in the pits. It wasn't Joker Man. As Milton comes out way back in the pack. As everyone is just all over each other. Green's sitting in a pretty good spot here. Liam and Piper also sitting in, also Austin are all sitting in very good spots as well. The real question is going to come down as McVeigh is under attack from Piper already. Piper and McVeigh's under attack because he went in and got new tires. So McVeigh on fresher tires than Piper. Can he make this work? He doesn't have the top speed that Piper's going to have. We know there's going to be a big slipstream difference, but he's looking at about 134, 140, while he's already almost hitting 150. He is not only going to be the slipstream disadvantage, but he's going to start revving his car to max, where Piper, in a whole nother gear on him right now, is revving out by him. So that's just going to be a huge thing as he tries to go defensive, and Piper just goes right around the outside. Like, when you're already losing a top speed battle without slip, you're going to get stuck in a situation where you really got to be super defensive, try to break that slipstream on those cars behind you, and then right here be advantageous. That Aston is all over the place. It can't dive. It's going to go wide on every corner. You've got to try to just find anywhere to put pressure on him if you're going to try to get back through here. You got the better tires, your fuel's good, you're in this fight, but like, you don't want to battle him in a straight line race. Those are going to be tough. You don't want to end up in a drag race. You want to end up ahead of him on that final run. And see Austin trying to get racy in there as well. Liam's right with him too. They're both on best laps. Edwards and Green, surprise, surprise, they're right there. And Ryle, third place from the last race, with Cripps following right on top of him as well. So they're going to all battle down before we end up with the next little group that are all lined up of Graham, John, and Rob. And then Milton, Joker, and Rossi are all in their own little battle right here as well, as it looks like they're all just about in slipstream, as Rossi's looking to get racy on the outside of Joker. I don't think you're going to beat the GTR all the way down without any slipstream. But maybe, did Joker get a bad run? Joker had to have gotten a bad run. There is just no way. I mean, even with a bad run, he's probably going to come back at him, right? It's the GTR. Well, we got these things nerfed? I mean, what a move by Rossi. If you're going to take a GTR in a straight line race and win it, hats off to you, man. Oh, that is impressive. So we see Graham looking to get racy, but they still got a few laps, so he's still kind of prodding and prowling. As Ryle's right up on the back right here. Cripps is still right in the slip range, so he's going to get pulled with them, as well as the leaders are in a straight battle. Look at that, McVeigh. That's how you apply pressure. I'm a huge fan when someone behind me is flashing their lights. It just makes me feel like I'm doing a fantastic job of annoying them. And it's just like, anytime someone's behind me flashing me, I'm just like, thank you. It just makes me happier and happier and happier. See, that's how you go defensive. Get it early. Get down there and don't even let him get it. Because then that side draft, as you push him back up the track, is going to slow him down more and more, and you should be able to hold defensively into the corner, and